Okay, I'm going to examine this video today. I saw this video come up on my YouTube feed here a few weeks back, and I just wanted to do a reaction video to it. So let's get started. This guy, his name's James. I consider him a friend, and the title of the video is 7 Years in the Philippines, but this one thing makes me go back. So we're going to listen to his story. He actually is sitting there in Festive Walk in Iloilo City, interviewed by a guy that has a channel called Living Abroad, and he travels all over, interviews a lot of guys and women, I guess. I don't know, but he has a good channel. He's got 16,000 subscribers, and he did give me permission to do a reaction video on this video that he put out. He's got a good channel. I wish my channel was as strong as his. He's got, like I said, 16,000 subscribers. Let's get started.
What's it like being married to a Filipina?
She's the sweetest girl I could ever ask for. People say everything's more fun in the Philippines. I'm kind of confused on that.
Please tell us your name and where you're from.
James Bennett Weir, and I'm from Madill, Oklahoma.
What brings you down here to the Philippines?
Wife,
Wife. Okay, how did you meet her?
Christian Filipino, 7 years ago.
Okay, and how's that been like? What's it like being married to a Filipina?
It's different. It's got its days, but all in all, she's the sweetest girl I could ever ask for.
Yeah.
I have to give him credit on this. He does pump up his wife a little bit, and she's a good wife to him, and they get along pretty good. They've been married quite a while.
Dating in the U.S. was a pain, and these women here are they're family oriented.
Yeah.
You got to remember that too. They're family oriented.
Okay. And what's that like a dynamic in the family? Like, what's your role? Do you have to do anything different than back home?
Me, no. She takes care of the house.
Yeah.
All I do is pay the bills.
That's it, right?
That's it.
And how's that like? What's the cost of living like in the Philippines compared to back home?
It's about the same, to be honest.
Really?
The rent's cheaper.
Okay, I take a little bit of issue with what he says there, about the same. And what he's going to go on to say is that you can come over here and you can end up spending as much money. And that's true. You can spend as much money here in the Philippines as you do in the United States, but you don't have to. I'd say medical care is about 1/10 what it is in the U.S. Rent, I can remember renting when I was 18, 19 years old for $400 a month in Evansville, Indiana, middle America. And you could get a nice condo in Southeast Asia with a pool, gym. It's a small condo, but you can get that for $400 a month too. So anyway, he's got some good points. Sometimes it comes off a little bit rough, but if you listen to him, he's got his own experiences. He's got his own opinions, and I respect that.
Groceries are a little bit cheaper, but you end up spending it on something somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been going through it, and I'm ready to get back to some normal life myself.
Okay.
People say everything's more fun in the Philippines. I'm kind of confused on that.
Okay, so you're going back to the U.S. Is it for just a vacation, or you're gonna?
I'm moving.
Okay, so what is it about here that made you want to move back to the U.S.?
Get sick, you'll find out.
The medical care, huh?
There's none. There's no health care.
Okay.
They say, oh, we got health care here. There is no health care.
Yeah.
You try and find a doctor. I only work Tuesday.
Okay, I got to stop right there. He said there's no health care. That's not 100% true. Now, I have a doctor. She has my history. I get lab work done. Basically, I pay about $12 a doctor visit. I pay about $27 for blood work. The difference is, and I think he's referring to, you can't run down there to the hospital, or you can't call an ambulance and they'll pick you up and take you down there to the emergency room, and you just immediately get in and they'll put you in a room. It's just not going to happen. I've spent myself 2 or 3 hours. I had vertigo one time, spent 2 or 3 hours throwing up in the waiting room or the ER. And, so I didn't get in right away either, but the wait times are longer here if you have to go in for emergency like that. He's right about that. He talks about Medical City, doesn't have emergency room or whatever, a certain time. I don't know. I can't confirm or deny that. He's got his own experiences. I believe he's shooting, straight on this stuff as he sees it. And he has some health problems that he really needs to be back in the United States. So I kind of understand where he's coming from on a lot of this. But at the same time, you say there's no health care here. If you take care of yourself, you stay on your medications, you don't have any real super chronic problems, and you can schedule, if you need a surgery, you can schedule it, you're going to be okay. Now, if it just happens, you get a stroke or something like that, and you're out, even in Iloilo City, I'm not sure exactly how well you're going to be treated. But, don't come to the Philippines broken down in your health and expect you're going to get the same kind of treatment that you get in the U.S. You're not. And he's right about that.
Say on Wednesdays or Tuesdays and Thursdays, and oh man, it's pain. And like I said, you go to a hospital, Medical City here doesn't do emergency on Saturday and Sunday. You drive up to the emergency room, there's nobody there.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're bleeding out. You done gone into some.
There's 5 or 6 other hospitals or more here in Iloilo City. Medical City's not the only one by far. They're a pretty good hospital. I've been there before. That's where I had my stress echo done. So yeah, I mean, you're going to run into things, and I think the biggest pitfall in the Philippines is the emergency care and the ER system here. It's not near as good as it is in the United States. And again, he's shooting straight about that. But there is medical care here. You take care of yourself and you take responsibility for your own health, and you don't come over here with chronic problems, you can live a good long life. No doctor, no hospital is going to save your life when it's your time to go. That's for sure.
Place nobody's going to help you.
It better not be the weekend, I guess, right?
That's it. And as far as up-to-date hospitals, I think the Asia Pacific is probably the most modern.
Yeah.
And it's not near what they have like in Dumaguete. Dumaguete's got ACE. It's brand new.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've been there yet or not.
Not the hospital, but I've been to Dumaguete, yeah.
Okay, they got ACE there. Cebu's there's a couple in Cebu that are top notch. In fact, there's one in Cebu and one in Manila. St. Luke's in Manila,
Mm-hmm.
and the Chinese one in Cebu.
Yeah.
That are class 4, whatever they call it, trauma centers and all that.
Yeah.
You go in there, they can take care of everything.
Okay. Have you considered?
If you're going to need like severe medical care, you've got, again, chronic issues, you've got, congestive heart failure, you've got, all kind of diabetes, you've got different things. You are better off being in Cebu City or Manila, being closer to a larger facility. There's no doubt about that. If you're in relatively good health and you take care of yourself, you can be in a smaller town like Iloilo City. Iloilo City is not really a small town in my estimation. I come from a town in Missouri, 40,000 people. Here it's 500,000 people in Iloilo City. So, but he's right about, the larger hospitals, more advanced treatment centers, things like that are going to be in the bigger cities.
Consider maybe going to one of those cities, or you just want to go back?
No, I'm going out.
Are you going to take your family with you, or
take family and everybody?
Everybody's going, huh?
My wife and daughter are going. They're both U.S. citizens.
Oh, okay. So that makes it easier.
Whenever I married a Filipino, I had it in my mind that she was coming to the U.S.
Yeah.
She was going to be a U.S. citizen. If I were going to die, which we're all going to die,
yeah,
she's getting my Social Security. Mm-hmm. And if she's living here in the Philippines and never goes to the U.S., she can't get it.
Okay.
So all these old men that you see running around here that got these young wives and everything, when they die, that woman gets nothing the rest of her life.
I had no idea. I'm glad you mentioned that, right? Just in case.
I'm really glad he brought up this. And one reason I think he's pretty much a stand-up guy is because he is concerned about his wife. And, a lot of guys do come over here. They get girlfriends. They might have a long-term relationship. But if the women don't become U.S. citizens or are not, and I don't know how far this goes, they don't go back to the U.S., Social Security is going to be an issue, and they're not going to get that after the husband passes away. So he's right about that, and I appreciate his genuine concern for his wife and his family.
These people don't know the details,
Okay.
right?
The other thing men don't understand is when they have a kid here in the Philippines, that the wife gets Social Security. Also, they're all like, "Oh no, 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 she got to be in." She doesn't have to be in the U.S.
Okay.
Spouse in care of a minor child of a record holder.
Okay.
You can look at it, and every bit of this information. You ain't dealt with Social Security.
No, not yet.
Yeah, but you've heard of people that have dealt with it
Yeah.
here in the U.S.
Yeah.
It's all online. There's
Yeah.
no secrets.
Hmm.
You can sit down and figure out what you're going to get if you have all your pay stubs.
Yeah.
They don't hold nothing up.
Yeah.
In the U.S., you can't cash out your Social Security, but you can take it at like 62. And if you do,
Okay.
a lot of the guys a lot of the Dumageddon set, they took it at 62.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's several of them over there that can't even live.
Yeah. So it's smart to try to plan that out a bit better, right? So
Yeah, that's the other thing that I don't feel comfortable about here in the Philippines is my money.
yeah.
Okay, he's talking about retiring in the Philippines on a very limited Social Security, and he's talking about at age 62, and that's what I did. But I retired here before I was at age 59. So, but he's right in one sense that you better have some money. I retired here 2 years before my Social Security kicked in, or a year and a half anyway, and but I have some savings, I have some investment, I've got some income property and things like that. So he said, what I'm worried about most is my money. He doesn't want it all to dry up, and he doesn't have anything. And you talk about being in a desperate situation. He's 100% correct on that. Don't come over here if you don't have a good nest egg, if you don't have a good Social Security check coming in, and you don't have an emergency fund. You're just really barking up the wrong tree, thinking you're going to make it here.
I just had a sneaking feeling that it's going to run out.
Mhm.
And when it runs out, I mean,
You have no resources.
no, you're in a foreign country.
Yeah. Okay. Now, a lot of men say this like it's the worst mistake to take a Filipina back home. What do you think of that? Taking your wife and back to the
No,
USA?
no.
What he's referring to is a lot of expats or people in these expat Facebook groups that, oh, don't marry a Filipina in the Philippines and take them back to the U.S. Oh, they'll rob you blind. They'll go crazy. They won't understand how to live in America. Me and my wife lived in America for 20 years, and she did just fine. And James he's also standing up for his wife. She did good. I think she's got a job now, and I think she worked before. You have to look at the character of the person that you're going to marry, and you have to be selective. Just don't get too excited.
She was fine going home.
Okay.
We had our daughter over there, and we had her over there, and she didn't go nuts.
Yeah. Okay.
A lot of guys will go nuts, or the women will go nuts, and they marry the wrong people and take the wrong people over there.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
What advice do you have for people that come here that kind of like, I guess, a little too excited or like,
Oh, if they're too excited and they're going to come over here, come over. Don't sell everything in the States. Don't get rid of everything.
You'll hear a lot of expats on YouTube say this exact same thing, and he's 100% right. Don't sell everything. And that's what he did. That's why I'm not saying that to dog him at all. He's speaking from personal experience. Don't do that, because you could end up in a situation, then you don't have anything to go back to. Now, I know James, he's made arrangements to go back there, and he's got a place to land, but he's probably renting somewhere. And but anyway, what he's saying is 1,000% true on this.
Take it to somebody's house, do something. Just come over here for 6 months minimum.
Okay.
Do your 6 months, come over and see how you like it.
Yeah.
Did you do the part on the guy in Cebu?
The homeless guy
No, the guy that killed a man
in Cebu.
James has got a lot of stories. He pays attention. I'll give him that. He watches a lot of YouTube videos, watches the news, and he's interested. He's well aware of what's going on.
Cebu ran over a tricycle driver.
Oh wow, no, when
America. Look that up.
I'll look it up because I'll definitely take a look into that.
That's the other thing people don't have a clue around here is the traffic here is horrendous.
Yeah.
And if you get out of the truck, start speaking English,
Hmm.
and you don't know Tagalog, your fault
Immediately, right?
immediately.
I keep hearing about that. Luckily, I've never been involved, but it's good to know
Well,
and be aware of some
Even
of
if,
the
and
stuff.
if they see you in the truck,
Yeah.
I mean, I've had them try pulling me over. I spent 5,000 pesos paying cops off here.
Okay, so you gotta know how to manage all that stuff, right? With the traffic and the driving.
Well,
And
now I just let her drive,
yeah,
so
more
we're
simple.
good with that. But
Okay.
yeah, I mean, I would definitely.
He's not wrong about traffic, especially downtown Iloilo City or Manila. Forget about it. I wouldn't think about driving to Manila. Are there expats that do it? Yes, they are. There are, and a lot of them don't mind it. Personally, I think it's a little dangerous, but hey, and I know people have vehicles here and they like them, and I'm glad for them. I don't have one. You can look at my last video I put out. It's about Grab versus owning a vehicle. And a lot of people own them. A lot of people have good reason. If you got the money and you can do it, do it. Just don't do it when you first get here.
Come over for 6 months prior to pulling the quote unquote trigger and
Yeah.
walking out. No,
When was the first time you came to the Philippines?
7 years ago.
Okay, that was 7. Any make big changes even in 7 years? Have you noticed here? Or do you think?
Oh yeah.
Now, see, the top of the video it says 7 years in the Philippines. And then this is one thing that makes me go back to America. He hadn't been here for 7 years, but he's been here off and on. You know, I've been here off and on since 2007, but it was actually, I think, 2021, 2022 when I first really came over here to stay long term.
Downtown is not polluted as it is, and they're still working on infrastructure downtown.
Yeah.
You got Mega World here. They're putting up all of these condos, which don't get me lying, buddy. I ain't figured that out yet, but the condos here just go everywhere.
Yeah, I see them everywhere too.
Did you also see the new
I have not yet. No. Oh,
when you walk there and look out going back down Aliosan Road, they're putting up another building down it. I mean, they're putting stuff up everywhere.
it's weird.
James, again, he's very aware, and I think, from what I understand, he didn't like staying at home. I get that, but he's a guy that likes to be on the go, and he traveled around Iloilo City and probably everywhere else he'd been, and he knows more about the streets and the condo projects and everything than I do. And I've been living over here for almost 2 years, but it's just kind of guy he is.
Because it doesn't make sense for the number of people that I see. Because even on my floor right now, I think I'm the only person in the whole 11th floor that I'm staying at.
Oh yeah, you probably are. But the thing is that they got every one of those sold.
Yeah.
Somebody in Saudi Arabia or
Somebody
Singapore
abroad is buying them, right?
is buying it.
Yeah.
There was one lady on our floor that had a 2-bedroom, and she was using it for storage.
That's it, huh?
Had Balkan boxes in it. I'm like,
Yeah.
really? Okay.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. So this is pretty cool. You're gonna go back to the US.
Yeah, I don't really understand the obsession with condos here. It's something that's very aggressively sold. A lot of people buy them, think they're going to make a lot of money renting them out. Maybe they do. I don't see the cash flow in it with what you got to put down. And I think there are a lot of them. People buy them and they end up just losing money on them. But anyway, that's my take on it, and I can be wrong.
What has been like a big surprise for you here when you came here?
Just the normal things in the U.S. that you take for granted, like testosterone replacement therapy.
Okay.
In the U.S., any man my age can get tested. It's out there. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
TRT of Texas, they're in all the shopping centers. You get over here and you ask somebody, hey, where do you get TRT at? What are you talking about?
They don't know what that is.
They have no clue about it.
Well, to be honest, I didn't know a lot about it. I've heard of testosterone therapy in the U.S. I knew of one guy that got it, and that's all I know. And I went during one of my regular blood tests. I had them test for testosterone, and they said my levels were fine. So I don't know if this is something they push. It's something obviously James, he's an advocate for. He likes it. He said it enhances his life, whatever way. I don't know. He said it makes him feel great. That's good. But here in the Philippines, these ancillary treatments or optional type things, elective type things, you're just not really going to see too much here because people are just trying to survive. They're trying to live, and so the things are not as available. But he did find it here, and it is available here.
And testosterone, they don't have no clue about that.
Oh, I had no clue about it. Like, I understand we lose as we get older, right? But like, what effects does it do to you? I'm curious right now. Yeah, let me know a little bit about it. What happens to you as you lose
Oh
your
Lord, man, it
testosterone?
makes you feel great.
Yeah, really?
Oh yeah.
I should start taking some anyways.
Well, I mean, I'm 67 years old and I love it.
Okay.
I love life.
Good for you, man. I'm happy, man. Any last advice? I know you told me people shouldn't settle down quickly, come here for 6 months, but just overall retirement or visiting, anything you want to share with people that you think they should know before coming to the Philippines?
Just take your time with it.
Yeah.
I agree.
And don't trust every YouTuber on the net.
Hey.
Come over here for 6 months, try it out yourself.
Yeah.
Make sure you have a plan.
I hope people don't make a lifetime decision based on what they see on YouTube without trying it out. And that's what he's saying. But again, I don't see that many mainstream YouTubers that do Philippines type videos like I do, but I'm talking about bigger channels. I don't see too many of them advocating, that you can come over here and live on the cheap, really. I know Steve at the used to be Philippines Info Channel. He's always No, he's always advocating for, you should have at least 2,500 to 3,000 a month coming in and an emergency fund. And so I don't know, maybe some are. I don't see them. I don't watch a lot of YouTube videos about the expats. That's just I watch other things. So anyway, he is right about that. Come prepared.
And I mean, I've seen some guys here that they ain't got a clue. They're talking about post office and everything. I'm like, buddy, didn't you know about the post office here before you got here?
Yeah.
There is no post office.
Yeah, well, I'm glad we sat down because videos like this hopefully give somebody some information that they can use.
I'm glad you took the time to stop me, and be looking forward to seeing you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think of James's story and the
This is the guy here that does the interviewing, and he does a lot of videos like this. And hey, my hat's off to him. I give him full credit. I appreciate him letting me use this video to do a reaction video. And I will see you in the next video.